The Shaft is a 2008 drama film. I believe it's directed by Zhang Chi in his debut film, I believe. It is basically 3 short films in one, but they're all connected. It's all about one family living in a rural Western Chinese, I guess, town? Yeah, I guess a town would be the appropriate word. And it's a mining town, so most of the economy comes from there. Most of the people living there can't get out unless they do well in school. If they're unable to get into any of the universities, or they can't get out. And this is pretty much a bleak, like dark look at rural life in China. It's filmed very documentary, like there's lots of nice shots of just like mining equipment and sparse shots of like the train and nature and things like that. Some of it's pretentious. We begin with exploring a family. There's a father and his 2 kids. He's got a daughter and a son. The daughter is pretty good looking and she works at the mining facility, part of the equipment. However, there's a rumor going around that she has traded sexual favors with her manager to get a promotion. So her boyfriend is distraught already and it spirals out of control. The manager's wife comes after her. She decides to move away from the city and go along with an arranged marriage. So then we jump over to the brother. He has grand dreams of becoming a singer. However, you know, he doesn't have enough money for lessons and he's unable to get out of the trappings of this small town. And the final section is the father, whose health is deteriorating from the mining company. So this is a very depressing film. But it doesn't do a very good job of connecting you to the characters, for one thing. I was interested in the female because she's the first character we're introduced, but then we don't get to see her till the end of the movie. It would have been nice to see, you know, the transition from her living in a small town to like going to the city and having to be a wife of some guy she doesn't know in an arranged marriage. But the film doesn't go in that direction and it feels kind of weird. It's also got this strange sort of aloofness to it. The brother character ends up getting in trouble with the police, but I'm not sure why. They just show up. I think he did something, but I'm not really sure. And the movie just doesn't really quite hit the notes. I know what it's going for. It's going for like a minimalist sort of, life on the street sort of thing, but they probably could have done a better job if they just followed some real life people and made like an actual documentary about people living in China, because some of the acting sequences are very lame. Like I know they probably just grabbed some no-name actors for this movie, but there's some really awkward parts. There's some really pretentious and melodramatic parts, and overall this movie just doesn't really hit the right notes. I know it's the director's first film. There is some great cinematography. I like the concept, but the execution's all over the place because, you know, you're hopping characters. If you want a movie that's a little bit better than this one, An Elephant Sitting Still is an excellent and long, but way better sort of varied look at rural life in a small town. That movie came out recently, but has, you know, maybe it wouldn't have existed without this movie, but An Elephant Sitting Still, I think, was based off of the writer-director's novel. So either way, this movie left me feeling cold, pretty bored throughout. A good attempt, but, you know, didn't quite stick it to me emotionally or anything like that. So I give The Shaft a 3 out of 10.